Survive and advance. That is what Tennessee did last Saturday in an overtime win at Mississippi State to get to 4-1. So we pause, like we do every week, to evaluate Tennessee's potential path to the college football playoff. Taking Hey, Lucas Panzica here from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. Tennessee obviously has just the one loss to Georgia to feel good about your chances to get into that 12-team field. The Vols will likely have to finish 10-2 or better. So what does that look like with Tennessee's schedule and the latest information that we have from around the SEC? The next time the Vols will be in action will be after the bye week coming up this weekend and back home to host the Arkansas Razorbacks at Neyland Stadium, who made news earlier this week by firing head coach Sam Pittman and placing offensive coordinator Bobby Petrino in charge as the interim head coach. Time is a flat circle. Bobby Petrino is once again leading the Arkansas Razorbacks, at least for the time being. And by the way, they also have a bye week this upcoming Saturday with the chance to have more time to prep for the Vols. This could be a tricky matchup for Tennessee. Bobby Petrino with quarterback Talon Green, who's a talented dual-threat player, could give the Vols defense problems. And while Arkansas's defense has struggled, they haven't been able to close out games. They also pushed Ole Miss to the brink just a couple of weeks ago, and it certainly doesn't feel like this will be a gimme for Tennessee, who should know that after losing at Arkansas a year ago. But obviously, the Vols have to take care of business against the Razorbacks to still feel good about getting into the playoff. And then, of course, it's the third Saturday in October. Tennessee heads down to Tuscaloosa, a place they have not won at in 2 decades, to play an Alabama team that has life, that just went on the road and defeated Georgia 24-21 after everybody wrote the Tide off in the Week 1 embarrassing loss to Florida State. Point is here, guys, the SEC is an absolute war zone. There is no one elite team above the rest. Anybody can get got on any given day. This could be a thriller down in Alabama, who, by the way, after Gunnar Stockton came into Neyland and tore up the Vols defense, Alabama held the Georgia quarterback to 130 pass yards and only 1 touchdown. This is going to be a huge talent challenge for Tennessee against one of the most talented teams in the country. But the good news is you can lose that game at Alabama and still survive on your way to the playoff. If that happens, of course, Tennessee would have to win out. The remainder of their games are at Kentucky, who is lifeless and is the worst team in the SEC, and that should be a blowout win for the Vols. At home against Oklahoma, who obviously is a talented and well-rounded team that is currently without its quarterback, John Mateer. The Heisman contender underwent surgery recently for a hand injury, but he is likely to be back for that Tennessee game. Obviously, that's a tricky matchup for the Vols. A cupcake in New Mexico State, and then Tennessee travels to Gainesville, where they have not won since 2003 for a rivalry matchup. We'll see if Billy Napier is still the head coach of the Gators at that point. Florida is a team that looks lifeless right now, a team that likely won't be with their head coach, a team that may not be with their starting quarterback at that point in DJ Lagway. We'll see what happens the rest of the season, but that has obviously been a house of horrors for Tennessee football. And then Vanderbilt closes out the regular season at Neyland Stadium, a team that might be for real this year, off to a 5-0 start for the first time since 2008, but we'll find out just how real Vanderbilt is this coming weekend when they go to Alabama with College game day in the house. So it is a navigable schedule for Tennessee, but like I said, the SEC has been all over the place this year. Anybody can slip up at any given time. Vols fans should know that after watching Tennessee escape with a win in Starkville just last weekend. The setup looks clear. If Tennessee runs the table at home and just beats one of Bama or Florida on the road, they should be in the 12-team playoff. If they slip up at home, they would likely have to sweep Alabama and Florida on the road. But it's on the table for the Vols to be in the playoff in 2025.